Now, coming to this, traffic on the N3 towards Gauteng is slowly picking up, and volumes are expected to rise even further as people return from holiday destinations. Let's check in now with the N3 toll concessions, Thania Dhoogra. Thania, thank you so much for your time. Good morning to you. How is the N3 looking like this morning?
Good morning, Tamela, and good morning to all your viewers. The N3 is looking fairly calm and peaceful at the moment. There is some traffic volume that we're seeing already. Just under 700 vehicles an hour processed northbound through the plazas, but so far everything is clear, the route is open, and there's no incidents disrupting the flow of traffic.
Yeah. And between the 31st of December to Tuesday, the 3rd of January, what are you expecting in terms of traffic volumes on the roads if people are planning on only returning to Gauteng around that time?
What we're forecasting is just based on the volumes that we saw leading up to the Christmas weekend, that we'll likely see very high traffic volumes in excess of 1,500 vehicles an hour that will more than likely head back towards Gauteng. So it's expected to be extremely busy on the route.
Yeah, and what's your advice to motorists, once again reiterating, I suppose, cautious driving, particularly at these peak hours and peak times when holidaymakers make their way back home?
Well, I think, as always, it's just important to remember that we want everybody to get home safely, and everyone needs to remember that they need to share the road responsibly. They're not the only road users out there. There are plenty of other people on the roads who need access, and everybody needs to make sure that they travel safely, that they obey the speed limits, maintain their following distances, make sure that they only overtake when it's safe to do so, turn on their headlights, and obviously always drive defensively. We are seeing a number of reports coming out from the weather services advising about inclement weather, for example, and that requires that road users need to adjust their driving styles accordingly. That means slowing down even further than the posted speed limits. And increasing those following distances, and always making sure headlights are turned on. And of course, making sure that you're always buckled up.
Yeah, and also, I suppose, to further support and to further contribute on your statement around cautious driving, I'm also assuming that there will still be emergency services on standby should there be any drivers in distress.
Absolutely. Emergency services, NPTC's route patrol services, they're all posted at strategic locations along the route so they can speedily respond in any emergencies. Law enforcement officials are also on the route. They've heightened their presence. They're carrying out random law enforcement activities at strategic locations and at random times on the route, where they're checking for drunk driving and, outstanding warrants, etc. So road users are just reminded once again to please always drive sober, make sure that they're in a good state to drive, that their vehicles are roadworthy, and that they're obeying the rules of the road at all times.
Thania, any significant incidents that took place this festive holidays on the N3 that you'd like to alert us of?
We have unfortunately had a number of really serious incidents on the route that have tragically resulted in the loss of life. And obviously, a single life lost is one too many on the road. But what we just want to reiterate that, every single crash incident on the route causes a potential delay for road users, and that adjusts their driving style and it adjusts the driver behavior on the route. People become more aggressive and impatient because obviously everybody wants to get to their destinations. We want the same thing, and emergency services are there to ensure that that happens. So, in the event of a crash incident, just appeal to people to please obey the rules that are, at a scene. Where the road is closed, it's there for a very specific reason, and we appeal to everyone to adhere to the rules there in particular, and, for example, not driving emergency lanes, because that prevents emergency services from getting to scenes so that they can clear incidents quickly, attend to the injured, and make sure that everybody can once again get on their way.
Well, I appreciate you giving us this update, and we're wishing all the drivers a safe return home, particularly those using the N3 this festive season. But thank you so much. Thania Dhoogra, always a pleasure talking to you, giving us this update. The N3 Toll Concessions Operations Manager, Thania Dhoogra, this morning, coming for us, sending that warning of caution driving, saying that please drive cautiously. Incidents on the roads that, cause a loss of life or traffic congestion are absolutely avoidable. It's all up to you as the driver to ensure that you drive safely. All right.